scene switch. So a lot of people think that life or society or their nation does not in any way limit them or produce any limiting beliefs in them, and their culture in no way uh, puts them at a disadvantage or makes them believe things that are going to hurt them from reaching their potential. And I've seen throughout life that this is far from the truth. Our culture and a lot of our mindset in many nations, even the most liberated, the United States, they suffer from a lot of these things just caused from a lot of primitive thinking and non-scientific thinking and a lot of other reasons. One of the big examples is the glass ceiling and inequality in the sexes. Females, I believe, and it's becoming more and more clear that they are just as capable intellectually and in many other ways as males. And yet, even now in the United States, after all this revolution, we still have a glass ceiling, and there's, you know, opportunities that are missed in this country. Uh, let's not even begin talking about all the other nations out there who are even more limited. Even nations like China, who are emerging as the new superpowers, they are still limiting, as Warren Buffett says, uh, they are preventing 50% of their population from achieving and producing uh, productive results because of this sort of deeply ingrained cultural bias that women are, are inferior and should just be left to house cleaning and kitchen work and so forth. And I do think that there's so much potential out there that's yet to be unleashed even in the United States. Um, Equality's definitely gone a long way in terms of gender and race and ethnicity, but it still has a good way to go. On top of that, there's other things out there, other biases and things that limit people that are more subtle or more complicated. Um, uh, there's sexuality, and then there's deeper, more complicated things out there. And I mean, there's to think that even in this century, in this age, we have those sort of things. And if you look at other nations who are doing well enough, maybe not perfect, but you know, if you look at North Korea, just see what happened. There's a few years ago when I think it was, they don't call them presidents, their chancellor or their leader died. Um, all the citizens were they're just weeping like they lost their their father or their mother, and they kind of were because they were sort of conditioned like animals and sort of brainwashed and conditioned to think in a way where this person was almost a god to them, and they were weeping. You can see these videos on YouTube. They're just like weeping at the foot of a sem at the foot of the cemetery, not the cemetery, but like the a picture of this chancellor who died. And if a whole nation can be so, you know, mind warped, then just think about all the other things that may be limiting us. I do think the United States are taking great leaps, um, and I do think China and other nations are also, you know, they could definitely almost potentially double um, what they're outputting now, and so forth, by just bringing out equality and eliminating those biases in gender and so forth. So I hope that at least it gives you a taste of what's out there and just illustrate how many limiting beliefs um, are just instilled through us, through our society and our culture. Um, there's a great case study of this. Katharine Graham, she wrote a book called Personal History. I haven't read it yet, but apparently it's an extremely good book. She was a woman who was told by her husband and her family that women are not good for anything, they're inferior to men. And this was a recent woman. It's not like some woman from the olden days. This was a woman that, was alive when I was alive. I think she recently died, but she was told all this stuff and she believed it. It was just so ingrained after so many years and throughout culture. I mean, just 50 years ago, it was ingrained in, I feel like it was ingrained in most women. And we're stepping away from that now for sure. But we still have a decent way to go. And I don't think that even for white Caucasian men, they're completely free of all limiting beliefs. Um, but to continue on, she was told all this, and then her husband died. She inherited control, just out of the blue, for the company. His husband controlled, which was the Washington Post, a ridiculously awesome newspaper company that was like big, and it's huge now. But back then, it was still pretty big. Warren Buffett, studying thousands of companies for fun, saw this, and he purchased a big part. He bought a lot of stock, which pretty much means he purchased um, significant ownership of the company. Katharine Graham, met with Warren, and Warren realized this girl, was completely scared to death. She rehearsed in the mirror many times what she wanted to say to the board of directors, and yada yada yada. Long story short, and again, if you want to hear an elaborated version, Warren, and you can find this on YouTube, pretty much tells you this whole story in one of his speeches to a class of business students. And long story short, ultimately what happens is, despite being convinced by Warren to not just give up ownership, but actually run this company, she was scared to death the whole time. And she never, throughout her 30 years of running the company, she believed that she was worth it, or she believed that she really was uh, equal to men. And it was crazy because apparently I can't remember the exact numbers, but the return she created for the business and the profits every year as a percentage of um, the assets and the company were just tremendous. And Warren remarked on her ability as a businesswoman to just be like one of the best. And I can't remember the exact statistics. You can find them in probably her biography, and I think I found it through a book. It may have been The Warren Buffett Way. I can't remember. It was one of those Warren Buffett books, but I'm pretty sure it was The Warren Buffett Way. It may have been a different one, but basically, when I read the results, like her returns, it was just ridiculous. Like she literally was like probably one of the most amazing businesswomen and CEOs in history, and she didn't believe it herself throughout her whole time. And it's one of those things where, if you don't fix it at an early age, in my opinion, this is just my theory, those beliefs will be almost impossible to shake off when you're older. And Warren has elaborated, detailed story about how ingrained those were in her, and how she just never felt that she was worth it, or even equal to the opposite male counterpart. So there's another illustration of just limiting beliefs that even nowadays are sort of subconsciously seeped into your subconscious by just living in society and having a culture and living in that culture. And who knows how many more are out there. And hopefully you can realize them, break free from them, and do your thing. And as I said before, if you have some free time, go check out those books or videos that I recommended. Personal History by Katharine Graham. I'll see you guys later. And if you like these videos, or you like to book summaries and book reviews, I have a book review channel. You can find it on my About section on this channel. And if you like these videos, hit the like button, favorite this video if you want, or put it for watch later, or check out some more of my videos, and subscribe if you like these videos. I'll see you in my next video, and share this video with people you think would be interested in them. Thanks for watching.